Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hope you are taking care of yourselves, okay? Following all the COVID rules, staying at home. I know you're enjoying your games and your free time with no tests, yay! But we still need to do our lessons. So for today's lesson, we are using the movies Listening Book 1, okay? And we are starting test number 3. And I sent messages, or we told you the last time to do test number 3. Before you watch this video, you have to do test number 3. Okay? So, I hope you've done that. If you did not do test number 3, please stop the video. Yes? Stop the video, go and finish the test, and then you come back. Okay? Alright, so if you are finished with test number 3, then this is what you should have in front of you, and this is the page we are doing for test number 3. Okay, and after we finish test 3 part 1, we're moving on to part 2. Okay, so this is what you should have with you. Okay, we are now doing test number 3, part 1. Okay, so what's the things you need to know about this part? Number 1, you've got to look at the picture and ask yourself, where is this? Where are these people? Are they at the beach? Are they at the park? Are they at the zoo? And then what are they doing? Okay, and I told you you need to know some important things like location words. Where are they? In, on, under, next to, behind, in front of. You need to know where are they, what are they doing, what do they have, what are they wearing, do they have short hair, long hair, brown hair, black hair. Okay, those are things you have to look for. Okay, and then you also need to know how to say or read the names. Okay, names are important, because if you don't know how to read the names, you will not hear the correct name. So let's quickly go through their names. Okay, you have Fred, Vicky, Jim, Mary. Okay, then you have Jack, Daisy, and Paul. Okay, so this is the picture you're looking at. All right, now you've got to listen carefully, and if you have any wrong answers, please do your correction. You will be writing keywords. So under the names, you will write down key words or sentences. Sometimes there might be 2. I will put them up on the board, and you need to put them in the right place. Okay, so make sure you do your correction. Whether you have it right or wrong, you still need to have keywords under or next to. Okay, I'm now playing the CD. Listen to the example.
Look at part 1. Now look at the picture. Listen and look. There is one example.
This is a photo of our park, Mrs. Fine. My brother and I often go for a walk there with our dog. That's nice. But who are all the people? I don't know all of them, but the girl who's flying the kite is called Vicky. The girl with the kite? Yes, that's right.
Okay, did you get that? So, who is the person they're talking about? Yes, Vicky. Vicky. So, what is special about Vicky? How do we know which girl is Vicky? Okay, do we know that Vicky is a girl or a boy? Okay, all those things you need to ask. So, the conversation is between a boy and a woman. Okay, you know conversation. And can you remember who spoke first and what did they say? Okay, the boy spoke first and he says, this is a photo of our park. This is a photo of our park. Do you know what's a photo? Photo. This is a photo of our park, Mrs. Fine. So the woman he's talking to, her name is Mrs. Fine. So he says, this is a photo of our park, Mrs. Fine. My brother and I often go for a walk there with our dog. So Mrs. Fine says, that's nice, but who are all these people? There's so many people. Who are they? And the boy answers, I don't know all of them. I don't know all of them, but, keyword, but the girl who's what? What is she doing? Who's flying the kite is called Vicky. Flying the kite is called Vicky. So the woman says, the girl with the kite, and the boy says, that's right. So, what do we know? What's the key words? How do we know which girl is Vicky? There's so many girls here in the picture. What's special about Vicky? Okay, so where you have Vicky's name, what should we write? Flying, yes, flying the kite. Flying the kite. So where you have Vicky, you should have flying the kite. Flying the kite. Can you see the board? Okay. Do you have any vocabulary you don't know? Here's some to help you. We've got photo, often, nice, and fly a kite. Fly a kite. Okay? All right, I will show you the vocabulary again at the end of the lesson. Okay, so Vicky, keywords, fly the kite. Okay? We're now moving on to question number 1. Okay, so make sure you write where you have Vicky's name, write down fly a kite. Okay, listen to the CD.
Can you see the line? This is an example. Now you listen and draw lines. 1.
Who's that? The woman who's waving. That's Mary. Who's she waving at? Me, I think. I took this photo.
Okay, this one was easy. Yes. So what do we know? Who spoke first, the woman or the boy? Okay, it was the woman, and she asks a question. She asks, who's that? So many people. Who are you talking about? Who's that? The woman who's waving. The woman who's waving. Who's waving? What's waving? Waving. Hey, hi. Waving. Waving. You can wave hi or you can wave bye. Waving. Okay? It's only one woman waving, and there she is. Waving. Okay? So, the boy says, that's Mary. Mary. Where's Mary's name? Here. There's Mary's name. So, where you can see the girl or the woman waving, draw a line to Mary. That's Mary. Okay. So it says, the woman asks, who is she waving at? Who is she waving at? And the boy answers, me, I think. I took the picture. I took this photo. Okay, so what do we know about Mary. What makes Mary special? What is she doing? What is she wearing? Where is she? What does she have? Okay, she is waving. So you should have, she is waving. She's waving. So where you see Mary's name, you should write she's waving. She's waving. Okay? Can you see the board? Make sure your spelling is correct. Okay? All right, we are moving on to number 3. Oh, 2.
And that boy there is called Jack.
Which boy?
The one who's playing next to the water.
Oh, he looks surprised.
You're right, he does.
Okay. Did you get that conversation? That wasn't difficult. The vocabulary was pretty easy, yes? Okay, so who spoke first? And what did they say? Or what did they ask? Okay, the boy spoke first and he says, and that boy there is called Jack. Where? There's so many boys. There's so many boys. What is special about Jack? And where's Jack's name? Here. This is Jack. So what is special about Jack? Let's see. The woman asks, which boy? There's so many here. Which boy? And so he answers, he says, the one who is playing next to the water. The one who's playing next to the water. Location word, next to the water. The one who's playing next to the water. The woman says, oh, he looks surprised. And the boy says, you're right, he does. So which boy is playing next to the water? Playing. There's 2 boys next to the water, but which one is playing? Yes, he's playing. He's got a remote control. Remote control. He's playing. There's his remote control boat. Yes, so he is playing next to the water. So where you see Jack, your line should go to this boy. And what's your key sentence? Playing next to the water. Playing next to the water. Okay, can you see that? Playing next to the water. All right? Okay, so we are now moving on to number 3. We're doing number 3 now. Okay, listen to the CD.
Person in the chair?
The one who's wearing glasses?
Yes, that's Daisy. She's reading a comic. She's often in the park when I'm there.
Oh, and who's the man next to her?
I don't know.
Okay, can you see that? Okay, in the first sentence, I told you, listen to the first sentence or question. It's very important. And here, they gave you the answer in the first sentence. Okay, so please pay attention to the first sentence or question. So, who spoke first and what did they say? Okay, so the boy spoke first, and his first question told you who the person was. He asks, can you see the person in the chair? Can you see the person in the chair? Chair? Where's a chair? How many people are sitting on a chair? Can you see? There's two. There's two. So we know who we are looking at. We just don't know which one. We know where they are. Yes. Now let's see which one they're talking about. So he asks, and can you see the person in the chair? The woman says, the one who's wearing glasses, the one who's wearing glasses or glasses. How many of them are wearing glasses or glasses? One, it's the woman. The woman is wearing the glasses. Okay, so she asks, the one who's wearing the glasses, and the boy says, yes, yes, that's Daisy. That's Daisy. Where's Daisy? Daisy's name is here. Daisy. That's Daisy. She's reading a comic. She's reading a comic. Oh, we know a lot of things about Daisy. She's reading a comic. She is often in the park when I am there. And the woman asks, and who's the man next to her? Who's the man next to her? And the boy says, I don't know. I don't know. So, what do we know about Daisy? We know a lot about Daisy. What makes Daisy special? Number one. Okay, I'm going to erase this before I write Daisy, because Daisy has a lot of information. Okay, so did you write this down? If you didn't, please check, take a minute to quickly write all this down before you move on. You can stop the video here, okay? And then continue later when you are finished, because I'm now erasing. Okay, so what do we know about Daisy? We know Daisy is on the chair. Okay, she's sit on a chair. What else do we know? Wearing glasses. Wearing glasses. What else do we know? Reading a comic. Yes, reading a comic. Reading a comic. Okay, do you know what's a comic? Comic book. Comic. Okay, I will give you vocabulary later. Comic. So, where you have Daisy's name, here you should write the 3 sentences. Sitting on a chair, wearing glasses, reading a comic. Okay? All right. If you are okay with that, we are now moving on to question number 4. We're moving on to number 4. Almost at the end of the lesson. All right, listen carefully. I'm playing the CD.
What about the boy who's playing the hopping game? You mean Paul? Is that his name? Yes. He's on the number 4 square now. Look, it's a great game. I can see that.
Okay. Did you see that? All right. So what did you hear? Who spoke first? The woman spoke first and she asks a question. She says, what about the boy who's playing the hopping game? Hopping, hop, like a frog, hopping, hopping. What about the boy who's playing the hopping game? Which boy is playing the hopping game? Can you see the picture? That's him. He's hopping. You hop on one leg. Hopping. Okay, he's hopping on one leg. Hop. Okay, what is she doing? This is skipping. This is skipping. This is hopping. Okay, so here's the boy hopping. So what about the boy who's playing the hopping game? And the boy says, you mean Paul? Are you talking about Paul? You mean Paul? Woman says, is that his name? Okay, is that his name? And the boy says, yes. He's on the number 4 square now. He's on the number 4. Number 4 square. Can you see that? The number 4 square. He's on the number 4 square now. Look, it's a great game. And the woman says, I can see that. I can see that. So, what's the boy's name? His name is Paul. Paul. And what is special about Paul? He is hopping. Hopping. He is hopping. Okay? Does everybody know what is hopping? All right. I will give you vocabulary later. Okay. And we are now doing number 5. So, listen carefully to number 5.
And there's Fred. He's in my class at school. Is he? Yes. He's getting the picnic things out of the bag.
Oh, yes. He's getting out plates and glasses.
Yes, he is.
Okay. So who are they talking about? They are talking about... Did you hear the name? They are talking about Fred. Fred. Okay. So, what are they saying? Who spoke first? Boy or woman? The boy spoke first. The boy says, and there's Fred. He's in my class at school. There's so many boys. Who is Fred? The woman says, is he? Boy says, yes. He's getting the picnic things out of the bag. He's getting the picnic things out of the bag. So who is getting things out of a bag? Taking things out of a bag? This boy. This boy. Taking things out of a bag. There's the bag. He's taking things out of the bag. So he says, he's getting the picnic things out of the bag. Woman says, oh yes, he's getting out plates and glasses. Plates. What's a plate? You eat. You put your food on the plate. So he's getting out plates and glasses. And the boy says, yes, he is. Yes, he is. So, what is special about Fred? What do we know about Fred? He's getting things out. Yes, he's getting out the plates and the glasses from the bag. So he's getting out things from the bag. He is getting out things from the bag. He's getting out things from the bag. Can you see this? Yes, the bag. Okay. All right, so this is the end of today's lesson. Okay, so we finished test 3, part 1. In the next lesson, we will do test 3, parts 2 and 3. And then the following lesson will be 4 and 5. And then you're going to need a new book. Oh, yes. But before we finish, let me show you the vocabulary. Okay. This is for test 3, part 1. Okay, you've got photo. You've got often, nice, fly a kite, waving. Okay, and what is this? Surprised, surprised, comic. Okay, and you've got hop, hop, this is hopping, hop. You mean Paul? It's a question. You mean Paul? Okay, this is picnic, plate, and glasses. Okay? All right, so we are now moving on to part 2. And this is what you should have in front of you. This is what it looks like. Okay? All right, let's quickly go through some of the things you need to know for the part 2s. All right, firstly, we said we must look at the picture. The picture gives you a lot of information. It tells you what you need to know. Okay, like here you can see the tractor and you can see some people. So if we sing a tractor, where would you see this, in the city? No. So you need to think about that one. Then we said you also need to read the name, and it says Dad at the farm. So we know where this is, yes? All right, so it says Dad at the farm. That means all the questions here will be about Dad at the farm. Okay? Now, you need to write names, nouns, like vocabulary, and you need to write numbers. Okay? Please make sure you know how to spell words. That's important in this part. You also need to pay attention to negative words like don't, can't, didn't, couldn't, weren't, wasn't. Okay? This is also the part they'll test your grammar. Singular and plural, one and many. Yes, so you need to be careful. You have to read carefully. If the question's asking you for plural words, you need to write plural words. Do you know what is plural? Fusu. Plural words. Okay? All right, and then I said to you, you must underline or highlight keywords like name. If you see the word name, you need to underline or highlight because you know what you need to do. Capital letters. Yes, they have to be in capitals. Okay, so I told you have to read these keywords and you need to make them into questions. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. You need to stop the video, okay? Use these words to make your questions, okay? 2 minutes. Stop the video and make your questions using these words, okay? They are keywords, and pay attention to the singular plurals. Okay? All right, if you are finished with the questions, let's quickly go through them. Okay? Your example says kind of animals there. Where is the there? The farm. The farm. So what would your question be? How do you make a question with these words? What would it be? Kind of animals there? Your answer is a noun. It's in sheep. So what do you think is a question word? A what? Yes. What kind of animals are there? What kind of animals are there? And you know, sheep is both singular and plural. This is a special noun. Sheep is singular and plural. There's no S, even though the question is saying animals. Okay? So what kind of animals are there? Are there? Okay, number 1 says name of farm. Okay, this is too easy. We're not wasting time there. What's the name of the farm? Okay, what's the name of the farm? Number 2 says number of fields. How do you ask a number question? So what's the question? It's a how many question. How many fields are there? How many fields are there? Okay, what about kind of vegetables that farmer plants? Okay, it's a kind of, just like your example, kind of. So this is easy. What kind of vegetables? Keywords. What kind of vegetables does that farmer plant? What kind of vegetables does that farmer plant? Oh, another kind of. Number 4 is saying kind of fruit trees. Okay, this is too easy. What kind of fruit trees are there? What kind of fruit trees are there? And the last one, can go to the farm. Can go to the farm. And it's saying next. What? So what would this? It would be a when question, because this is going to be a time answer. Like today, tomorrow, next week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a when. So when can they or she or he go to the farm? When? Okay? So did you get that? For all your words, make them into questions. Okay? All right? So we're going to go through part 2 very quickly. And you need to listen carefully to the CD. Pay attention to who's speaking first. Okay, that is important because these are key sentences, or it could be a question. If it's a question, it becomes a little easier because the next person has to answer the question. Okay, so we are now listening to test 3, part 2. Okay, pay attention to keywords.
Listen and look. There is one example.
I went to a farm for my work yesterday, Sally.
Wow, we're learning about farms at school.
Are you?
Yes. What animals did they have there?
Sheep. Hundreds of sheep.
Okay, did you hear that? Okay, so who is talking to who? We know the girl, her name is Sally. And what is this saying? It's saying dad at the farm. So Sally is talking to who? To her dad, because it says so here. Okay, so the girl and the man are talking. The man is dad and the girl is Sally. Okay, so can you Remember who started this conversation? Yes? Who? Yes, it was Dad. Dad spoke first, and what did he say? He said, I went. Went. What tense is that? Went. Past tense. Gochisu. Past tense. He said, I went to a farm for my work yesterday, Sally. Yesterday. I went to a farm for my work yesterday, Sally. Sally answers, she says, wow, we are learning about farms at school. We are learning about farms at school. So Dad asks, are you? And Sally answers, yes. And then she asks Dad a question. She asks him, what? What animals did they have there? There. Where's the there? At the farm. What animals did they have there? And Dad answers, sheep. Hundreds of sheep. Do you understand that? Hundreds of sheep. So what does that mean? There were so many sheep. Hundreds of sheep. Okay, so question in the example says, kind of animals there? Answer was sheep. You can see that. Okay, all right then. We are moving on to question number 1. I will give you vocabulary later at the end of this part. Okay, all right. Let's listen to question number 1.
Can you see the answer? Now you listen and write. 1.
What was the name of the farm, Dad?
It's called Key Farm. Do you know it?
No, but I can write about it. How do you spell that?
Key.
Oh, Key.
Yes.
Okay, did you get that? Yes. Okay, so what was the conversation? Who started the conversation? Was it Dad or Sally? Okay, Sally started. The girl spoke and she asks Dad the question, the same question in your book. She says, what was the name of the farm, Dad? What was the name of the farm? What was? Remember, Dad went yesterday. It's past tense. Was. What was the name of the farm, Dad? And Dad answers, he says, it's called Key Farm. Key Farm. And then he asks Sally, do you know it? And Sally says, no, but I can write about it. I can write about it. Okay. And then she asks, how do you spell that? And what does Dad say? K-E-Y. Yes, like key. K-E-Y. And the girl says, oh, key. And Dad says, yes. So, the number 1 answer was key. And remember, it's a name, so it's capital K. Capital K. Key. Okay? You got that? This is easy. Not wasting time here. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2.
The farm was very big.
Was it? How many fields are there on the farm?
There are 22.
22 fields? That's a lot.
Yes. The farmer works every day of the week, and he's tired every evening.
Okay, did you get that? It says number of fields. Do you know what's a field? Yes? Okay, I will show you your Chinese later. There's field. Okay, number of fields. So, Dad spoke first and he says, The farm was very big. The farm was so big. And Sally says, was it? And then she asks Dad, she asks, how many fields are there on the farm? How many fields are there on the farm? And Dad answers the how many question and he says there are 22. 22. And Sally says, 22 fields? That's a lot. So many, a lot. And Dad says, yes, the farmer works every day of the week. Wow, every day of the week. Every day, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wow. The farmer works every day of the week and he is tired every evening. He's tired every evening. So what's your answer? Number of fields? 22. Okay, you just need number. You don't need to write the word. If you write the word and get it wrong, it's wrong. Even if you knew the answer, it's wrong. So just write the number. Okay? All right, we're moving on to number 2. Oh, we're moving on to number 3. Fast.
3.
Do they plant vegetables there?
I talked to the farmer about that. He plants carrots. People buy them from the market. They're very good to eat.
What about potatoes? Do they have those in the fields too?
No, only carrots.
Aha, you need to be careful with this one. Yes, this one is a little tricky. Okay? Question is saying kind of vegetables that farmer plants. That farmer plants. Okay? So, who started this conversation? Was it Sally or Dad? It was Sally. Sally asks a question. Okay? She asks, do they plant vegetables there? You know what's vegetable? Okay, do they plant vegetables there? And Dad answers. He says, I talked to the farmer about that. He plants carrots. He plants carrots. And Dad says, people buy them from the market. People buy them from the market. They are very good to eat. So Sally asks, well, what about potatoes? Potatoes. Do you know what's potatoes? Malingsu. Potatoes. What about potatoes? Do they have those in the fields too? And Dad answers, no. Negative word. No. Only carrots. Only carrots. You need to listen to the plural word. Carrots. So, what vegetable? What kind of vegetable does this farmer plant? Carrots. Number 3, carrots. Okay, do you know what's carrots? The rabbit eats carrot. Yes, carrots. Carrots. Okay. Wasn't too bad. We're now moving on to number 4.
But they have some fruit trees.
Apple trees?
No, but I saw lots of pear trees. The farmer makes a very nice pear drink from them.
Did you try some?
Yes, I did.
Okay. The question is saying kind of fruit trees. Kind of fruit trees. Question, what kind of fruit trees are there? Okay, so remember Sally asked Dad about the vegetables and Dad says only carrots, only carrots. And then now Sally and Dad are still talking and Dad speaks first. Dad says, but they have some fruit trees, They have some fruit trees. And Sally guesses. She says, apple trees? She asks, apple trees? And Dad says, no. Negative word, no. But, another word, another key word, but I saw lots of. What's lots of? We did this word many times. Lots of. Many, yes, many, lots of. I saw lots of pear trees. Pear, P-E-A-R, pear trees. Dad says the farmer makes a very nice pear drink from them. A pear drink, pear juice. Yes, a pear drink. And Sally asks Dad, did you try some? Did you try some of the drink? And Dad says, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So what's your answer? Kind of fruit trees? Pear. 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 Okay? And then we move on to the last question, number 5.
Farm, Dad, to help me with my homework.
Yes, we can go there with Mom.
In the car?
Yes, we can go there next weekend.
Next weekend? Great.
Okay, this one was easy, right? So, can go to the farm? When can Sally go to the farm? Okay? So, what was the conversation? Sally asks Dad, Dad, can you take me to the farm? Can you take me to the farm to help me with my homework? Remember, Sally wants to write about the farm. So she asks Dad, can you take me to the farm to help me with my homework? And Dad says, yes, we can go there with Mom. We can go there with Mom. So Sally asks, in the car? And Dad says, yes, we can go there next, what? Next Monday? Next Friday? Next what? Next weekend. Next weekend. And Sally says, next weekend? Great. So, what's the answer? Number 5 is weekend. This is one word, so be careful. Next weekend. Do you know what is weekend? Yes, Saturday and Sunday are weekend. Okay? Alright, so these are your answers for part 2. I hope you've checked. Yes, make sure your spelling is correct if you had this wrong, and I know some of you did. So, check, make sure your numbers are correct, capitals are there, and spelling singular plural, your one and many words. Okay? Alright, check. And I will now show you today's vocabulary. You only have about 6 words, because it's so easy. Alright? Here's your 6 words for Part 2. Okay, Test 3, Part 2. You've got farm, learn about, field, plant, buy from, and pair. Okay? Can you see that? Farm, learn about, field, plant, buy from, and pear tree, pear. Okay? If you're not sure about the Chinese, please write it down. Okay? All right. Okay, if you're finished with this, then we're finished with today's lesson. Hope you checked and you've done your correction. You don't have homework. If you finished test number 3, the next lesson I will be doing answers for parts 3 and 4. Yes, parts 3 and 4. So make sure you get all this done. If you did not already do my homework, please make sure it's done before you go on. And yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll see you again. Well, I won't see you. You'll see me in the next video. So make sure you stay at home. Don't go outside. It's not safe. All right. And listen to your parents. Yes. Okay. See you. Bye.